Welcome everybody to Remotely Renee this week. And 2 days ago was Mother's Day. So I want to first let me recommend some moms and my two lit crew, Snook, which as you guys know is me, Madre, my sister, Nicole Young, who she's a mom, and then my VP, Paul Garino, holding it down for the dudes. But I also wanted to just give a huge shout out to all the moms in the WNBA because there's a lot of us and it's progressive. All the moms in the NCAA. See y'all, Adia Barnes was pumping milk at halftime. We know the strife of working moms and trying to be there for everything. And then I got to give a huge shout out to the moms of the Atlanta Dream. And that's Odyssey Sims, Tiana Hawkins, but also Suzanne A. Bear and all the other moms in the organizations. Shouts to me. I'm a mama too. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. And welcome, moms. How y'all feeling after this Mother's Day?
Loved.
Oh, I like that. You feeling loved? How you feeling, Snooker?
You know, I feel blessed.
Okay, well, y'all both came in here in pink, so y'all was gonna let us know today was your day. Okay, so you could have told us.
And Snook been getting comments on the YouTube pages. She been getting some interview requests too. And Cole I told Cole the other day about she's gonna be getting interviewed soon, and she was like, "Why?"
Why?
I said, "Because you're on a podcast."
What? Why?
Snooka is a cult legend out here. Snooka, the people want to talk to you, Snook.
Look, I got a lot to say, and sometimes they want to hear what
boy.
Like you all did not want to hear everything I had to say. So
well, listen, I want to hear now. Listen, now I want to hear everything you gotta say, Snooka. And speaking of that, Suzanne said that you're her favorite part of the show. She said to me, "No offense, Renee, but Snook is my favorite part of the show." And I'm like, "Look, I don't care who you love on the show. I love that you love it." Okay, so let's get into it. Let's start out this week. There's a lot of business stuff. We had a lot of actually, no, let me rewind. I'm going to start Scoreboard out. And Scoreboard is where we talk about business happening in the universe. A lot of times it's in the sports world, but sometimes it's not. I have an announcement to make. I'm going to be producing a Broadway play called Passover. I'm so excited. Broadway's coming back. I don't know if you saw, but Kumo talked about it in September. Broadway will be reopened and it's coming back. It's a huge deal, people, because the Broadway industry, there's a lot of people we talk about without jobs, a lot of things that were on pause. We know when Hollywood opened back up for filming, we started to get our favorite TV shows back. Well, Broadway is one of my favorite things. And I sent out a tweet that talked about how before the New York Liberty was no longer playing at the Madison Square Garden, I used to go watch a Broadway every single time I went to New York. It started at UConn where Coach Ariema and them, they tried to educate us. You'll see that along the way of these stories I tell. But when we were in UConn, they tried to take us from heathens and teach us a little bit of class. And so they would take us to nice restaurants like Del Fresco's. We had to figure out which fork I'm supposed to grab. What am I supposed to be eating with? Then they would also take us to a Broadway play, and it was called The Rockettes. And I never forget it. I was like, yo, this is lit. I like discipline and uniformity. Have y'all seen The Rockettes? Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I have. I went to New York and saw them myself. I love Broadway.
See what I'm saying? So,
yeah, back in the day, everyone wanted to be a Rockette.
What'd you say, Snook?
I said back in the day, everybody wanted to be a Rockette.
You're right.
Wow.
You're right.
I didn't even know that. So back in the day, apparently everybody wanted to be a Rockette, but imagine college me going there and I'm like, yo, this is lit. So then when I became a pro in the WNBA, every single time I would go alone to these Broadways. That'll tell you how much I liked it. I would go alone. And every single time, like I would find a different one. So I've seen The Color Purple. I've seen Lion King, Phantom of the Opera. I've seen everything, literally. And so to continue this journey of my love for Broadway as a producer, what are we talking about here? I'm excited. So Paul, I'm going to pass it to you now and let you tell us what's on the scoreboard this week.
All right. So the first one, we always talk about crypto. The New York Giants is the first NFL team to land a partnership with a cryptocurrency It's more of like a investment group, and they're gonna like kind of teach the players seminar. They're gonna have like seminars on cryptocurrency. And I didn't know this either. Crypto.com, which is another app I just told you to download the other day. They have a sponsorship deal with the Montreal Canadiens. So I guess, yeah, it's coming.
So this crypto explosion, I mean, is now leaking over into sports, as you guys can see. I think it's smart to educate players the same way in the NBA and the WNBA. They have rookie seminars, rookie orientation, where they teach you how to work with your money. They teach you how to save your money. Not that the athletes listen, but they still try to teach you. And so that's dope to be ahead of the curve and teach the players about crypto on the way, because it's here now. But wow, you're starting to see the partnerships, and shouts to Mark Cuban. He's the shark in the tank that's already selling tickets. You can buy them with cryptocurrency. What do you say?
You buy him with Dogecoin. He accepts Dogecoin.
Wow.
He accepted.
Snook, what'd you hear about Dogecoin?
Well, this morning I saw that in your chat. I do remember that. So that's why when I heard it on the news this morning, it caught my ear, because the guy was talking about all of this crypto stuff. And he says this Doge, how do you say it? Dogecoin?
Dogecoin.
Dogecoin. He says if you invested $1,000 in January, it would be worth $120,000 today. And I said, my Lord, Jesus.
Whoa.
I have $1,000 I'm going to give you. So
So now you're a believer.
really.
Whoa.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm willing and I'm able. So
Whoa, wait a minute. This is huge breaking news.
Look, wait. I'm kind of offended. So you trust the news, but you don't trust people you talk to every week in your family.
Well, I'm just saying, you know how you have to keep hearing something, and finally it really just clicks. I said, wow, that just came through loud and clear.
Okay.
The bottom line is she heard the numbers.
Well,
numbers.
Cole, well, tell us what you told us. Who one of your sons invested into it?
That's what he invested in. He invested in Dogecoin in January.
I'm gonna try to no, wait a minute. We've been on this show for 5 weeks trying to tell Snookabuka about cryptocurrency. We were telling her all the points. I was like, hey, do you want to even be paid in cryptocurrency? And what did Snook say? Give me my money in cold, hard cash. And the one time she sees it on the news, not like she kept seeing it on the news. She saw it on the news one time. They told her, hey, folks, if you invested in January and you put one stack up, you could have had 120 stacks. And now Snookabuka want to give me some money to invest.
It validated what I've been hearing from you all. So now I'm on the lookout.
We're not
on the lookout.
We're not talking.
So send me whatever, those tips you get. What do you call them? Trader tips.
Wait a minute. We don't want no insider trading tips.
Yeah.
Wait
If anyone knows anything that would help me, send it to me. My email is .net.
Whoa. Whoa. I had to throw some roses. I just don't know what just happened. Did we just convert Snook to crypto?
You did.
Wow. Like
I
VP, what else do you have? Because I feel like today is a good day automatically.
I'm just going to shout out Renee, because Renee just listens to me, even though sometimes I'm like, Renee, I don't know. I'm just telling you stuff. But she always so it works out. It's been working out.
It's been, I'm telling y'all, this is the.
You too. I'm sorry if I've offended you, but I will. Now on, I definitely will be listening.
Okay, so Snookabuka has now been converted. Paul, my VP, is talking. It's the truth. Paul sends me just the most random wild things, and he'll be like, hey, I think this is going to blow soon, or hey, I think this is a good idea. I mean, he brought FCF to me. He's in the know. So when he tells me stuff, even if I'm like not all the way a believer of it, I'm like, let me find out about it, Paul. Okay, tell me what I need to do. Like I'm the like, all right, what I need to do to kind of get my tiptoe in there. So I guess Snookabuka is now going to be on board apparently, and she's here for it. So go.
with both feet, not one, but both.
Oh my God.
Wow. So Cole, do you like, is this two people have has Snook converted before you, Cole? Are you ready to get paid in crypto?
No, you ain't gonna pay me in crypto. I will invest, but no, I don't want my money handed to me in crypto. Hand me my money in cash, hard cold cash, and I will do it as I want to.
Oh my goodness.
No
oh
payment.
My goodness. Are you telling me that our mother, Snooka Booka, has converted before you?
No. She said she will invest. You will give her money in crypto? Mom, do you want your money in crypto or do you want your money in cold hard cash still?
Snook, what are you buying in?
No. We're saying two different things. She says she will invest 1,000. I don't have a problem investing, but don't try to hand me any paycheck in crypto. That's all I said.
Okay, this is all I gotta say. Give me pound, give me pound, give me euro, give me yen. I'm international. Listen, I'm only saying that because you can pay me in whatever. I don't care. Pay me in whatever as long as it's cash money. Okay. Well, not cash money. I shouldn't say cash anymore, but money.
Yeah.
What else you got, VP? Woo! Snook is a converter.
So this is definitely going to be a trivia question. You told me a while ago this was one of your favorite singers, and Ed Sheeran. And
okay.
He just became a jersey sponsor for one of the local clubs. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but it's an English soccer team that is a third-tier team, and it's going to feature.
You have to try so we can know.
A plus sign, a minus sign, an equal sign, a division sign, and a time sign on the jersey. So I think that that's his album. That's his album name. So I guess
this is I like this. I hope y'all are paying attention to what's happening. So basically he's releasing an album is what you're trying to tell me. And we've seen so many different type of rollouts. You see people go in interviews, you see people, Jimmy Kimmel Live, and they want to show their song. Ed Sheeran is doing something unique. And for his rollout, okay, I know that's not how you say his name. And for his rollout, he bought in on a jersey sponsorship so that his album will be on their jerseys all year long. I mean, like,
and we're working on
brilliant,
Renee.
Brilliant.
I love this. I love what's happening. What do y'all think of? What'd you say, Paul?
I'm saying there's going to be some Remotely Renee sponsorships in sports too.
Hey.
Ooh, you better tease up the stuff coming down the line. That's right. Remotely Renee has some sponsorships that we're doing in conjunction with the sports team. Bet you can't guess who. We in this thing. I'm just saying it's going to be.
I'm talking about other stuff too.
Oh, what else you talking about?
What are you talking about?
He said that we're going to have, we're getting in promo in other sports as well. I thought he was talking about the one that's coming down the pipe for the Atlanta Dream, but which one are you talking about?
Can't say. It's a teaser.
Oh.
You see what you see how we rolling this thing out? Okay. That's how we doing. How do y'all feel about that? An artist now, because, sponsorship, there doesn't have to be a company. You just got to pay the money and you get the real estate on the jersey or wherever you're getting it.
Because it's like weird, different.
It's
I'm
different.
all for it. I'm all for it. Especially for the WNBA, they need all of the sponsorships. They don't care if they companies, if they're albums, if there's somebody who just wants their 15 seconds of fame or season of fame, whatever, let them bring it on.
Bring it on. Cole, what do you think about this innovation when it comes to just marketing as a whole? It's changed completely. What are your thoughts about that?
I actually like it. That was really different. I would have never thought to put the album on the jersey. And then that means the whole season, people are like, what is that? They're like, oh, that's Ed Sheeran's album. And you're like,
exactly.
Oh, really? And then
talking
people are
point.
it.
Yeah. They'll play some of his songs during those times where they play music at the games. And so then, hey, now, they know where the song is and people will like it because they'll be hearing it. And hey, cha-ching, album sale, cha-ching, album sale. So,
ooh, John Legend, Rihanna, who else? Beyonce, holla at me. I need all of y'all to come over here. The Smiths, Willow Smith, Jaden Smith, holla at me. If this is what we're doing, holla at me because I like this vibe. Atlanta, Oh my goodness, we got artists for days. Holla at me. I like what's happening here, and I wanna talk about it.
We
So
want
Ed
we
gotta
want
come on.
Tyler Perry on the Dream jerseys.
Ooh, Tyler Perry Studios. Holla
Yeah.
at the
That's
kid.
actually a really good one. Yeah.
Ooh, Snooka Booka. You see what we doing here? We just doing this off the fly, by the way. Y'all are seeing what our think tank looks like live. Tyler Perry, beautiful idea, Snooka Booka. Holla at me. We want Medea at the games. What's up?
Hey, I love Medea. I'm telling you, I love
What's
Medea.
up? All right, VP, what's the last one on the list?
All right, so I had to change it up this week a little because I feel like we've been kind of talking about the same things over and over. So,
I like that.
but we just talked about Ed Sheeran. So I wanted to touch on DJ Khaled this week because his album dropped, and it's not really relative to sports, but I'm saying like he just drops albums and they always go number one because he does all the collaborations. And I'm sure you've already heard probably some of the songs. And I think they're projected to get like another 100,000 sales in the albums.
So that's another one. That's why he says another one, because he just has another hit and another hit. I see you switching it up on the music. We going to Broadway, so we do need to expand. We don't just do sports around here, VP. So I'm glad you're taking us out of our box. Nobody puts remotely in the corner. I like it. DJ Khaled has figured out a algorithm. The algorithm is you get the hottest artists with the hottest beats and collab, and he adds his ad libs and he got a hit. I mean, rinse and repeat. He's had Beyonce, Jay-Z, Justin Bieber, Rihanna, like who?
Didn't he have Cardi B too?
Of course, I'm sure he did, because he's DJ Khaled, and that's why he has this rhythm. So, DJ Khaled, holla at us too. We were talking about artists that want to, put some real estate. DJ Khaled, holla at the kid. What do y'all feel about DJ Khaled? Oh, that just reminded me of something. I was watching a sneaker thing because he's a sneakerhead, and they asked him, "Do you worry?" Huh?
He has a deal with Jordan.
There you go. He got a deal with Jordan. So he's a sneakerhead, and they were going through his closet and they asked him, do you worry about like coming up with another hit? Like you've had a system of excellence. Are you concerned if it's going to stop? And he was like, I'm the one that makes some hits. So as long as I'm me, we going to have hits. And I was like, ooh, wait.
Don't question.
Talk.
Don't switch technique. I think it's absolutely right.
Hey, if you're not going to toot your horn, who will?
A beep. What you think about it, Cole?
I think he's right. I think that he's the stand. He's the upper echelon that everyone's trying to get to. So as long as he's there, everybody's going to try to get there. So he'll never have a problem with making a hit because he is the actual hit. Everybody's got to come and meet him where he is. So I agree with them.
And I think, I don't know if he did it before Beyonce and them, but he put his son like on his other album like a couple of years ago, right when he was born, like not even a year.
Assad.
So, yeah. So exactly.
Listen,
you know his name. Look.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Yeah, I know his name. You crazy? I know Assad's name. First of all, I never seen that baby cry. So they got a baby whispering nanny over there. That's amazing. But secondly, imagine being born, not knowing nothing, and all of a sudden you're famous, you're rich. I know that a lot of celebrities' kids are this way, but I'm talking about he made his kid like a producer. So there's like actual money that is going to go to his child for the future. Goals. Snooka Booka, what you got to say?
Okay, well, I was just going to say about tooting your own horn. I used to teach graduates how to go out and get jobs after they graduated from college. And one of the things they had a problem with was tooting their own horn. I said, hey, you got to, if you're not going to say anything good or, know yourself well enough to say what skills I have and what the person can use, then who will? So, he's doing the thing that everyone should be doing who's out there trying to make $1.
Make $1, holla, and listen, Assad got a lot of dollars. I bet you right now Assad got some crypto already. VP, what other nuggets you got for us?
There probably will be like we the best coin or something.
We the best coin.
We the best.
Yes.
I got two bonus ones. Once again, changing it up a little bit. Maybe I should call it tech scoreboard because I just saw it was on front office sports. In Nintendo, everyone always kind of doubts them because like PlayStation and Xbox, but their net sales this last quarter was 16.1 billion, and they had a 82% profit growth from 2020.
So wait, what games are Nintendo? Because I remember my Nintendo, Mario. I remember all of our Nintendo, but that's not their Nintendo, right?
No, their Nintendo is Mario. No, not Mario. Mario Kart, and their Nintendo is Switch. That Switch is what's making them bank.
The system, yeah.
The system, because the little kids, like Vance has a Switch. His brothers bought it for him. I was like, oh, this is
AJ has a Switch.
Junior has a Switch.
They have a Switch, but the game they have on there is Mario Kart, and that Pokemon. I was done to find out a Pokemon bundle was $100 and some. So they're making
So
if you buy two different separate ones, it's 55 and 55. But if you want to buy the bundle, it's like one something. I was like, $100? They was like, yeah. So that's how they're making their money.
So yeah, that was definitely a good stock to buy also. But like Xbox and PlayStation are brands, right? But Nintendo has brands underneath their brand, like Mario, Zelda, Pokemon. Like they don't, like Xbox and PlayStation doesn't have stuff like that.
Well,
at least like a lot of them like that.
Well, and not to mention, people are buying more Switches because Xbox and PlayStation are stationary, and you can have that portability to play it on a screen like Xbox and a PlayStation, but you could take it with you wherever you go. And that's where they make a lot of their money too. Because
greatest babysitter ever.
In 2020, they sold 28 million Switch units.
What?
Greatest babysitter ever.
And I remember,
Snook said, if you need a babysitter, get a Nintendo Switch, and she's not wrong.
Not.
Wow, I like this trend. What else you got that's different?
My last one, it literally just came out. Twitter just made a tip jar.
What are we tipping them off on?
It's just going, I won't even say.
You could tip anybody now. So you could put, so it like gives you the option. It gives you the option to put like your Cash App, your Venmo, or like some other couple ones, and then in your bio right above it, it has like the little money thing. So you could send.
But why would they tip me? I mean, what's the service?
Well, I guess like if you put something out there, you say I'm starting my this, that, and the other, my business. You want to give me a tip for whatever.
Like now, I don't know if you could.
I don't know what's going on here, but I'm intrigued.
It's dangerous.
It's the same as everything else. It's a way for somebody to give you some money.
You already know. I set it up because
I'm just saying.
Money on there for make me dance. It's just another way for people to give you money.
Yeah.
Or take your money.
So actually, so actually, I was just listening to Ben Baller had the co-founder of Dogecoin on his podcast today, and the kid is not involved in it anymore. He has no Dogecoin, but in his bio has his wallet, so people could send him Dogecoin. So it kind of
let me have to open up my tip jar.
Yeah, so
let me open up my wallet.
I bet you they're gonna have crypto soon. I bet you on there to tip.
Let me open it up.
Week, I want you to put that on my phone so somebody can put something in my.
Listen here. I'm going down be on Twitter all the time. Y'all can give me a tip. Y'all can give me a tip if you want to. And my tip don't have to be $20, $30. You can give me $5 if you want to. I'll take a tip of $5. And if you get enough of that, that's how people be making their coin. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Do some strange things for some change. I want to know what Twitter thought that jar was, what was going to happen with that jar, because I feel like they just brought OnlyFans to Twitter in some type of way. I don't know what's going on, but it's very innovative. I want to know what they thought was going to happen with this tip jar, though. Like, is it like you retweet something for somebody and then they tip you? I don't know what's happening.
It's not on the actual tweets yet, but I'm assuming that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
After the show, we'll talk about it. We can't talk
because that would be dope. Because they'll say your tweet blows up, right? And then they're just like, oh yeah, we just want to tip them, whatever, because it's a dope tweet.
Oh wow!
Let me get my tweet up.
Okay, family, because we've been trying to get Snook and Cole on Twitter. Are you interested now? Do we have a little interest?
Me and Mom
a
were
lot
just
of
talking about that
emphasis.
today.
Mm-hmm.
We were just talking about us getting better on Twitter. Did we, Mom? We had a whole conversation. We had a whole come to Jesus moment with it.
Mm-hmm.
And Mom said, I'm going to get back on there. I bet you we'd be back on there now with that tip jar open.
So look,
So I
go to Ben Baller's. She already got it set up. You click it, and then it just goes straight to the Cash App, and this thing is like Wash Baller.
Listen, if Ben the Baller, who's a gazillionaire, got his tip jar ready, I'm going here right after the show. By the time y'all are listening to this, my tip jar is available. I might even make my tip jar be things that go straight to my foundation. I feel like there's legs with this.
That's what I said.
So I like what's happening here. Twitter, way to be innovative. Like, I mean, I see you.
You can put out something about a virtual, like your events, and then say, if anybody wants to, donate, I have an event coming up, and people get the tip jar open. People, if they want to donate $5 towards your event, that you're going to be doing for your foundation, they can do that. It gives people the availability to not have to do a certain amount to be a sponsor. You can partially be a sponsor through a tip.
Yeah. You can put up a tip jar on mine, and I will show you how I've invested in how my money's grown. So you can put some money in there if you want to see how.
I see what you doing, Snook. That's actually clever. So Snook is saying, if you don't want her to be in crypto so bad, donate her some money, tip her some money, and she will show y'all how she's investing, how it's growing, what it's looking like. Snooker, Booker, y'all hear the think tank. If y'all hear what's happening, this is my squad.
We could do a challenge, like we put $100 in a certain whatever, and then after a month or something, we come back to the show.
Oh, that's actually a good idea.
I like what's happening.
I come on here with my face twisted up.
But it has to be like a random cryptocurrency. Like it can't be like one of the main things.
Yeah, no, we need to bet on just a random one. Listen, you know what, y'all? Remotely Renee has a Twitter. Okay, listen, we got a Twitter with Remotely. Snooker Booker, look, Snook ready. Snooker Booker, we ain't mad at it. Twitter, I see y'all. All right, listen, I'm really hyped today because for Happening IRL, the WNBA season is starting. I'm hyped. And so to break down everything, we have Cheryl Coward of Hoop Feed, who she's going to give us a breakdown. She's going to give us some interesting stats. The Two Lit crew and I, Cheryl, we would like to welcome you to Remotely Renee because we're family now. Once you come on here, you're family. And so talk to us, Cheryl. Thank you for joining us. What should we look forward to this year?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. And there's so many things to look forward to this year, so many changes, some that you've been involved in as well, transitions with teams, to breaking news with the coach, Nikki Collin, leaving Atlanta to go to Baylor, which is a big move for her, money. Yeah. We have to put that in there. But, starting with the off-season moves, Tina, we didn't get to see her play last season. She'll be with the Washington Mystics this year with Elena Della Dunn and the newcomers. That'll be interesting to see how that all
Let me pause you right
together.
there. Y'all better stop playing with TT. I'm just telling you, that's my teammate. Y'all better stop playing with her.
Right. And she's hungry. I mean, I asked her on one of these Zoom calls, and someone else asked her too, what motivates her? And she says, I don't have a championship. That's what motivates me. That's what's motivating me to continue to get better. So these youngins better watch out because they're going to get beat up.
He was already
right. We also have, Candace Parker in Chicago. That's a huge move. Good for her. She gets to go back home, be around friends and family, the people that watched her in high school grow up. I mean, I have a friend who played basketball with her brothers, and he says he remembers her as a little kid running around the courts. So, I mean, people like that, they're so overjoyed to have her back in Chicago, and that should be good for their attendance, even though it's going to be, limited. But for the future, you have
we're limited too, and Chicago, y'all better show up and show out for that team. Diamond Shields, Courtney Vandersloot, Allie Quigley, Candace Parker. Come on now, y'all better show up, show out.
Right. Plus the newcomers. I don't know if Shyla Heal is going to be playing this year, but I mean, she's the daughter of a legend, Australian legend. I mean, imagine, what that's going to be like when she takes the floor. So we'll also get to see Sabrina Ionescu back. You know, she was the front runner for Rookie of the Year until unfortunately she got injured, which happens with a lot of rookies. You know, they have these sustained injuries over their college career when it's like they take a break before they go into the WNBA, and it's kind of their body starts talking to them. It's like, you need to slow down at this point and take care. And I think that's kind of what happened to her, what happened with Renee Davis with the stretch fracture. That's something that happened in her college career. And speaking of them, with the Minnesota Lynx, can't count them out. You got Big Sil out there. You got some people helping her out in the paint. So, you know, don't count out Minnesota. Of course, Cheryl Reed.
You never can count out a Cheryl Reed team because she's going to stay on them all season long. Shouts to shouts to that whole Minnesota family over there. You know, like I was a part of that organization. First class. So I always will speak so highly of them, but we played them in preseason, and you never can count them out.
Right. And you cannot forget Chelsea Gray moving to Las Vegas. I mean, that team is stacked. They're my number one pick to win the championship. I mean, what can you say? Liz, Asia, Chelsea, Angel, who else? Name them.
You name it.
De'Erica Hamby, cannot count her out. I mean, you know, she's 6th Woman of the Year twice, but she's a starter on any other team, a superstar on any other team. So, but you know, it works for them. And if it gets them a ring, who cares?
Facts. Hey, and speaking of, so you already threw out there, that's your pick to win it this year. So who would you see in the finals? Like, who do you think is going to be the top 2 teams?
You know, Chicago. I think Chicago has a really good roster. When Courtney Vandersloot is there with Allie Quigley, I mean, what a tandem, and the way that they, you know, mix in everyone else, and with Candace being there, they haven't had a chance to play with each other. But I picked them. They're still relatively young. And
speaking of that, Diamond DeShields tweeted something, and I thought it was so dope. She said, if you would have told young me that I would have been playing with Candace Parker, I would have screamed, or I wouldn't have believed it, or something of that nature. So it's pretty dope to see that. You hear that in the NBA all the time, where a player will come in and their favorite player, they're playing against them. Like, I forget what player had Rajon Rondo's card in his wallet, but I think it's cool to see those dynamics now, that Diamond was a fan of Candace, and now she's playing with Candace. So you can imagine the turn up for the team when there's that type of energy.
Right. And it's so beautiful to see when you hear these young players. I'm playing with my idol. I have to get my jitters out because, you know, don't stand around too long. It might cost you. But you know, it's been a long time coming. You know, we have these multi-generations coming up in the WNBA now. I mean, Imani McGee-Stafford isn't playing now, but I remember I worked at the Village Voice as a chief of research, and I was there when the New York Liberty had their first season. I went to their very first game, and one of the stories that we did was when Pam McGee was dealing with the custody battle with Imani. Think of that history, you know, and how things have not changed for, you know, mothers in the league. So we have a lot of history like that. It just needs to be amplified.
Wow. See, I didn't even know that story at first. Shouts to Manny. That's the homie. I was literally just talking to her yesterday. So that's a crazy coincidence of things that's happening. But what do you think about our team? I want to hear, what's your assessment of the Atlanta Dream? Come on now, it's my squad. And candidly, you don't have to feed me roses because it's my squad. I'm curious, what are your breakdown for us?
Well, first of all, I think that Jim and Darius are going to do a great job. It's not like they haven't been there. It's not like they don't know the game. Jim, you know, he has a great background with the Lynx. So I think that they're prepared. I think that, you know, even though he's the interim coach, he said it's going to be, you know, kind of a co-coaching thing. And it's amazing. And he doesn't want to step up to be the head coach. And if Darius comes in, how great would that be to have, you know, him there and his wife at Georgia? But that's just what she's thinking.
Look, on my part. Drop a Joni Taylor nugget on us real quick. Did I hear that?
Yeah, wouldn't that be great? 2 Black coaches right there. But I mean, you got like some amazing aggressive guards with Atlanta, and they showed that in the preseason. I mean, Odyssey Sims is a defensive dynamo. You've got Kennedy Carter, you know, and then you bring in Erin McDonald, who is a speedster. And from everything we've heard, she's picking up everything. She's not trying to do too much. She's staying within her zone, but she's excelling because she's a great player, a great young player with a high basketball IQ who listens and is coachable. And you know that because Adia doesn't take anything less.
Come on
like
now.
She said, if I don't want to coach you, if you need to be motivated, you need to come in here self-motivated and ready to work. And Ari McDonald has shown that in her college career, and now she's showing it in the WNBA.
And then you talked about all of our newcomers, but I mean, we haven't even mentioned Courtney Williams,
right,
Hayes, Cheyenne Parker, Elizabeth Williams, Shakina
Me?
Strickland. I'm just saying, like, there's listen, Tiana Hawkins was a new pickup for us that I think will be vital. There's a lot of pieces. Kalani Brown, shouts to her as well. We got a lot of pieces. Monique Bill.
Elizabeth Williams.
That's right. Elizabeth Williams is another great basketball IQ. Well, the interesting thing about Atlanta is I think that, I think they're up there in the top 5 teams. And the reason I say that is because they have an interesting mixture of people with experience and younger people, but the people with experience aren't that old. You see these coaches here talking about they've got to manage the minutes of the vets. And then you see people like Vicki Johnson at Dallas. She's like, I love these young kids because I can run them to death. We usually don't do things like you run sprints when you miss a shot, but we're doing that because they can run.
I love it.
You have this younger team with all these skills that maybe will, gas the other teams. They might be tired, and because they have that experience as well. And because when they go against a team like Dallas, who has that speed and that energy and that hustle, but they don't have the experience.
Yeah.
So that's my
so
take.
who's your sleeper who's your sleeper pick that they're gonna have a good, like, not saying they're gonna win, but they'll have a surprising season, what people maybe not have expected?
I think Los Angeles. I think the chemistry there looks like it's good. You have, Nneka, who's an amazing leader, as you know. She has her sister back this season, Shanae, who, is effervescent, always energetic, hyping people up. She's the team's hype man.
Love it.
You have,
Speaking of, shouts to their TikTok. They did a TikTok that I thought was so lit. But yeah, that's that type of energy. Right.
So I think that, they're getting used to the system that they have. Derek Fisher's letting them do their own, of course you have systems, of course you have plays and the game book, whatever, but they have a freedom that they've been talking about that they may have not had before to create. And, with Nneka leading the team,
ain't no telling. Right. Okay. Exactly. So before we let you go, do you have any interesting nuggets for us, cool stats, anything you want to drop on us?
There's so much going on this season, with the new uniforms, the new deals, the 25th anniversary season. There's a lot that's going on. Right, exactly. And I think that people need to keep in mind the statistics of the WNBA, where it is now compared to the NBA when it was 25. The WNBA is actually ahead of the NBA, as far as people don't realize that the NBA didn't get televised games all the time until like maybe the late 70s, and they weren't profitable teams. Think of how many teams have moved from teams city to city. Think of all the teams that have been in the NBA. Some people never even heard of. I mean, the Los Angeles Lakers, they were the Minnesota Lakers. People don't know that. Yeah. So I think it's important for people at this milestone with this anniversary to kind of maybe look at the comparison historically, and not just financially, and not just attendance wise, and not just the level of play, because it's exploding. I mean, look at these youngins coming in, and look at the people in the pipeline, positionless players all over the place, Haley Jones and Fran Belibi out at Stanford. These kids, are going to change the game. So I think it's important historically to maybe for people to kind of look at those sorts of things. That's my nugget. Look at the league from a historical perspective.
I like that. Let's compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges, basically. You can't compare us at 25. Okay, Paul.
Which jersey is your favorite?
I actually like the Lynx jerseys. They're crisp and cool, and I don't know
which one. All of them, the whole her collection, or is there one in particular, like the white ones you like, or which ones?
I like all of them, although I did see a friend of mine wear one outside. I don't know which I think it was the Hero collection, and it just looked really good on her. And the little things they did to accentuate, the physicality of the players. This has been a long time coming about the jerseys they had before. I mean, they were ill-fitting.
Yeah, I had one of them. I was in them.
Right.
I wasn't in the ones that were halter tops, if that's the ones you were talking about, but I was in the other ones. And so, we've come a long way, but I like that. Like we've come a long way. It's 25 seasons. Lisa Borders said 25 years is one generation. So we have one generation down, hopefully a gazillion to go. Cheryl Coward, thank you so much for joining us on Remotely Renee.
Nice.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Take it easy.
Thank you too.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so listen, we're all for it. We're here for it. Next up, we have Remotely One-on-One, and I'm telling you what, I'm hype about this one. We have the former president of the WNBA, and I'm gonna say it louder for the people in the back. We have the former president of the WNBA, Lisa Borders. She was the fourth president, and now we have commissioners. But Lisa Borders comes on, and she talks about how they brought the Atlanta Dream here. I never heard the full story. She talks about how she was a vice mayor, didn't even know that's a thing. And they came to her with the idea that there was a league, the WNBA, that was forming. They wanted Atlanta Dream to be, well, it wasn't the Dream then. She tells you all about it. I'm not going to steal her nuggets. Lisa Borders, talk to us. All right. Listen, I have Miss Lisa Borders, who was the fourth president in the WNBA at one point. I remember calling you auntie because I just felt that type of connection. Can you just talk about what it was like being a president in the WNBA with a lot of players where it really felt like we were a family?
Yeah, love that. Love that. Great to be with you, Renee. Thank you so much for having me. And I still want to be auntie, girl, just because I'm not the president anymore doesn't mean, we're not breaking up the family. So let me just say this, coming to the W was a dream come true for me. And I remember meeting all of you and 143 of your sisters. And every time I gave a speech, I would say to folks, I have one biological son, but I have 144 daughters. Yeah. And I meant that because it made me feel closer to you all. And it seemed that you all felt closer to me. So anytime we were celebrating, it's easy. But when you're going through hard times, you need your family, right? You need everybody close and need everybody to understand what you're trying to get done. So it felt amazing, and it still feels amazing. I have opportunities like this because I met you then.
I love it. And so you're no stranger to Black excellence. I read that you were an undergrad of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, and we salute the divine. Yes, ma'am. We salute the divine nine. My family went to an HBCU. So when we talk about HBCUs and their importances, they've never been under talented, always underfunded. And I don't know if you saw, but Morris Brown just recently got granted their candidacy to be accredited again. But can you talk about the importance of just picking up the HBCU community and also the importance of the community in general?
Absolutely, absolutely. So my parents both attended HBCUs. My mom was an AKA at Clark, which is now Clark Atlanta University. It was Clark College then. So I am a legacy AKA sister. That's number one. My father attended Morehouse, and he was a second generation, my brother's third generation Morehouse. And then my father was the physician at Morris Brown for like 30 years, Renee.
What?
And they used to have a building called Borders Towers, and it was named for my grandfather, William Holmes Borders Sr. So Morris Brown, if I recall correctly, is the only HBCU that was actually started by Black people.
Yep.
Most folks don't know that, but it was. And so super proud of the progress that they've been able to make. And yes, I just read too about the reaccreditation, bringing them back into the fold so that they can educate our students. So let's be clear. In days where African-American students could not go to majority institutions, like this is what we did. We had our own, and we went to those schools. We stand on the shoulders of ancestors who went there, who were educated there. My father also went to Howard University to get his MD. There were 2 Black medical schools, Howard and Meharry, and they put out some bomb physicians. My dad, first among equals. So I ain't mad. I'm always trying to lift up HBCUs and the graduates. And listen, AKA and all of the Black sororities and fraternities came out of HBCUs. These are service organizations. We're taught that at a young age, and the expectation is we will always pay it forward. Period, full stop, no conversation.
Hey, period, full stop. And you know, that made me think. I've heard you tell the story about as the generations changed in your family, and you went from, what was it? What was the line? I loved it because I love that line.
Girl, we went from the chauffeur seat to the executive suite in 2
Come on! Tell me about it. Going from the chauffeur seat to the executive seat, because that's goals. Anybody knows that's goals for you want to change your family's legacy. So tell me about how you did that with how your family did that.
Listen, I am so grateful to the Coca-Cola company, but more importantly to the grandparents who came before me. My maternal grandfather worked as a chauffeur at the Coca-Cola company for one of the first presidents, Mr. Arthur A. Ackland. So my grandfather, Harmon Thomas, started at Coke. Get this, Renee, 1929. Okay, wow. For those that are not students of history, that was the year of the stock market crash. This is Atlanta, my home city. Coke is headquartered here. So for this tiny little company, I mean, people look at Coke today and they think, oh my God, the Coca-Cola company. But let's be clear, it was this tiny little company in Atlanta. So 1929, he started, and he worked there for 30 years, 1929 to 1959. His wife, my grandmother, Rosa Keaton Thomas, was a maid. She worked there for 15 years. So between the two of them, 45 years of service, which allowed my mother and her sister to be first generation college at the HBCU Clark College, then Atlanta Clark University.
Talk about it.
So for me to have the opportunity almost 50 years later, 2013, I think is when I went to Coke, 50 years later, 2 generations, and to serve as a senior executive. I had the privilege of running the Global Foundation. To be able to do that, particularly with the history of Coke and the history of Coke in my family, was remarkable. So I had the privilege of working there. So I'm like one of the bookends. My grandfather started it and I tried to finish it up is what happened, but an amazing, amazing company and an amazing opportunity.
I mean, if that ain't gold, I don't know what is. That story gives me chills every time because history is important. And if I remember correctly, you were involved in bringing the Atlanta team here and as a part of, and that started my history because as you know now, I'm sitting here and I'm a vice president of the team and owner.
Say what? Say what?
Listen, but you had a hand in bringing it here. Tell me that story. How did it happen?
Yeah. So I am so thrilled that you are one of the co-owners, Renee. You have made history and you're continuing to make history. So kudos to you. So super happy for you, but damn proud of you, girl. It's amazing. But this all started in 2008 when I was vice mayor of the city and president of the city council. Donna Orender, one of my predecessors as president of the league, came to Atlanta and invited us to bring a team to the city. Now, let me back it up and explain this a little bit. Shirley Franklin was mayor of the city of Atlanta, and anybody who knows she's a bad girl, she's a little bitty thing, but Renee, little piece of leather, but she's well put together, and she never, ever took any tea for the fever. So Donna actually invited Shirley to this lunch. And Shirley called me and said, hey, I can't go to this lunch. I got to work on the budget. Can you please take the meeting? I'm like, can I take the meeting? I love basketball and it's about empowering women. I'm all in. So I go to this lunch with Donna. She lays out the case for a W team, talking about the resources that we have in the city. We've got 18 colleges and universities to draw from. Basketball has deep roots in Atlanta. She makes her case. Renee, I was like, we'll take one. We'll take one. We'll take one. So I get myself together. I go back to City Hall. I go over to Shirley's office. I was like, Mayor, check this out. I just told Donna Orender we'd take a team. She's like, you did what? I told you to take lunch. I didn't tell you to take a tea. What are you
whole
talking
thing.
about?
Okay, so as you guys, I mean, you got to listen on Thursday for the full thing. You don't want to miss not one nugget that Auntie is giving out, from the chauffeur to the C-suite. She actually said the executive suite. Come on, changing family generations. But Snookabuka, do you have any response to what Auntie was trying to say about crypto?
Hey, tell her that I'm taking her advice wholeheartedly and getting ready to have someone do something for me with the crypto stuff, because I've been enlightened.
Snookabuka, you better drop the name of the podcast.
Yes.
Snookabuka said enlightened. She didn't even know. I don't know if she knew, but Enlighten is the name of Lisa Borders' podcast. And the reason she named it that is because she thinks that there's so many things we learn along the way that we need to give to the younger generation. Snookabuka, what? Look, you better. Lisa Borders, thank you for coming on. I love it. Listen on Thursday for the full episode, for the full interview. It's amazing. So now that you've been enlightened, my Snookabuka, can you enlighten us? What do you have this week for RemoteRoots?
Okay, people. So, with Mother's Day coming up, and we filmed this prior to Mother's Day, it's released after Mother's Day, but I wanted to do something for Mother's Day. And so before I go into that, first of all, I wanted to share with you a little bit about West Virginia again. I keep hearing about West Virginia. It's getting to be very popular. Like, I watched an episode of NCIS and it had a reference to they were going to West Virginia. And then I watched The Angel Has Fallen and they were in West Virginia. And then I watched A Wrong Turn and it's in West Virginia. And then, in politics now, Joe Manchin has West Virginia, all over the place. So anyway, West Virginia is like out there right now. And
The Walking Dead is another one, just a popular one that takes place somewhere in West Virginia at a certain point.
Okay, so like I said, Joe Manchin has West Virginia in the limelight, and everybody's always wondering, where is West Virginia? They really don't know if it's, part of Virginia or if it's not, but we're a whole state all by ourselves. And like I said, as of late, every time you turn around, you hear the name of West Virginia. Well, I wanted to share about Mother's Day. Mother's Day is a day that we celebrate and honor our mothers, which we should do on a daily basis every day of the year. Let me just say that. But Mother's Day was started in West Virginia. Hey, did anyone know that?
I did not know that.
I did not know that. I did not know that.
So a lady named Anna Jarvis in May of 1908 decided to figure out a way to thank mothers. And so at her church, Methodist Church in Grafton, West Virginia, she had the first Mother's Day. Then in 1914, President Woodrow Wilson decided to proclaim Mother's Day as a holiday. So that's how Mother's Day got started. Grafton, West Virginia. Okay.
Wow. That's crazy. I didn't know that. I don't y'all better put some respect on West Virginia's name. I mean, no, not really, because I know we're doing some crazy stuff right now too, but put some respect on the history of West Virginia in some aspects.
Okay. So, and today for my little clip, I decided, I'm always talking about Fannie Pearl. Everybody knows that Fannie Pearl was definitely my girl, still is. And I learned everything. I owe everything I am to her. But you know what? She raised me, and through her, I got the knowledge and the perseverance and everything to raise my 3 daughters who are excellent mothers. So I have a clip I'd like to share as a tribute to my 3 daughters. So check it out. This Mother's Day, I'd like to give a shout out to all the strong, dynamic, loving, and wonderful mothers out there. But I'd like to share a little information about some of the wonderful mothers that were in my life, starting out with Fannie Pearl, my girl. She was the best mother a girl could have. Although she was my grandmother, I would have never known it. She was just awesome. She gave me a lot of the things that I learned about being a wife, being a mother, and she was instrumental in getting my married life started with my husband, Ron, when we started having our kids. We had 3 beautiful daughters, Nicole, Nishay, and Renee.
all 4 years apart. Let's start with Nicole. Nicole is my oldest daughter, and as you can see from the picture, the tallest. And she had 4 boys, 3 boys, and then she waited a long time and had a baby boy who is now 8 years old. But my men, I call them my young men because their last name is Young, wonderful young men. She's done a great job as a mother raising them. They're respectful. They know what's right and what's wrong, and they do what they can to help their grandparents. And they have another set of grandparents who live there in Maryland, and also us. So there's a picture of her husband, Shan, wonderful man. They've been married a long time. My oldest grandson is going to college for economics. The middle one is going, I don't know what his major is, but he plays basketball. And now the third son is in college as well. So all of her kids are out except the baby. My next daughter, Nashay, she's the one who lives about 5 minutes away, and I see her a lot. Nashay has 6 children, and she's I can't say enough about what a wonderful mom she is. She has her kids ready for every event, every holiday. She takes care of her mom and her dad as well. She's been a godsend during the pandemic because she's taken care of us just like we were children. Sometimes I think she thinks we are her children, but she has a beautiful family. She has 5 girls and 1 boy, and a husband who is just, I can't say enough about him either. We love him to death. So Nashay, she's a pharmacist, and she has a very, very stressful job. But again, she finds the time to make sure that her family is well taken care of. Now, my last daughter, Renee, I have a lot to say about her too. All of my children were just great children. The only difference in Renee is that Renee, I have been able to share her with the world. She always thinks about others. She is always busy. We always talk about Renee. When Renee's around, you don't have an agenda. Everything is Renee's agenda. But she's just a beautiful person. I love her and her new family, Sam and Junior. We spend a lot of time together. Renee's the daughter. She calls me every day, sometimes 3 to 4 times a day. So we're very close. She's very close with her sisters, and they all try to tell her that she's the baby girl and take care of her, but she doesn't want to hear it. She thinks she's the oldest. So you've heard a little bit about my family, my daughters. All of them are phenomenal mothers. I can't say enough about that. I'm blessed to have had a wonderful mother myself, and to have 3 wonderful daughters who blessed me with 11 grandchildren, and they're just wonderful.
Okay, so Snookabuka, first of all, love it. Shouts to Serena Grace. Shouts to my sister Shay that's not here, but Snookabuka, I just love, like, I'm gonna speak for all of us in saying thank you. It's weird. This is like, I'm a new mom, so y'all are like veteran moms. Y'all are savvy moms. Y'all been in the game. I'm new to this, so it's lit for me. Cole, what's mom life like? You're like the mom of moms. Cole is so good. Cole, let me just say this. Cole knows how to, like, my nephews eat a lot of food. They're huge. They're like grown, big baby men because they're babies to us, but they're grown men in real life. And she's like a cafeteria mom, like cooking these big heaps of food. But Cole, momhood, talk about it.
It's wonderful. It is, like I said, it is a blessing, and sometimes it's a curse, because the curse is that the things that mom and them said to us when we were little, like, oh, you're going to grow up one day. And I'm like, oh, don't curse me. And now the same way my babies are growing up, but it's a blessing. It is. I mean, it's like walking through Jurassic Park. Sometimes it's a scary place to be because, you know, there's things going wrong, kids getting hurt, you got practices. And sometimes you just know how you go make it through the day because somebody is mad, the kid. But at the end of the day, it's so rewarding, and it's it's such a blessing. And now that my kids are older and I see how they are with other people and how they are with the little brother, it just makes it so much better. It makes it so much better.
So Cole, do you say anything? Have you caught yourself saying anything Snook and them used to tell us? Because I'm ashamed. Like, even when it happens with Junior, like, I'm actually ashamed when I say it. And I try to put my little twist on it to make it funny, but it's still the same thing. That's like, do you catch yourself doing that?
I catch myself doing it, and then I say, "Oh, that was Dad. Oh, that was Mom." Like you immediately know where it came from in the exact moment it leaves your lips. You're like, goodness, no, I said I would never take and repeat something back to him and put my own spin. You know, you're gonna get up and do what I told you to, you know, like it's so crazy. You put it back on him, and yeah, I do all the time.
Before we move on, just a couple of things. Before we move on to Paul and his mother, let me just give a shout out to my husband, whose birthday is on Mother's Day as well.
Oh,
and actually, he was actually born on Mother's Day in 19, whatever year that was, he was born. And also, I want to say how blessed I am to have 11 grandchildren. So
wow, shouts to Diddy. Happy belated birthday, my Diddy. His birthday is on Mother's Day, which is weird that my Diddy's birthday is on Mother's Day, but shouts to my Diddy.
Or how do you do that? How do you do that? Like, if his birthday is on Mother's Day?
How do I do what?
Like, it's his birthday, but it's Mother's Day.
Oh, it happens a lot.
Yeah.
So he's saying, what do you do? Y'all celebrate together? What do you do on Mother's Day?
Well, you know, he doesn't like to celebrate. So, you know, it's always he wants to do something.
That's why I like him. I already know.
But you know what? As long as we're together, it doesn't matter if it's Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthday, or whatever. The main thing is that we're together.
I love that. I love that.
Yes.
That's why I don't really care that much about holidays, because it's like I do the same things like all the time anyways. Like, for example, with my mom or whatever, go like get lunch with her, blah, blah, blah. It's just like another day it's a made up thing.
Oh, so
Paul, tell us about Mama VP. Come on now, you better.
I mean, cool things about, you know, obviously, just like, cool, like, just she's pretty much down to do whatever, like, even when, you know, when I first started, like, PG Sports and stuff, and helping me, like, make boxes and sending stuff out to people. So that's always, like,
Mama VP shipping out
my mom's
packages.
She's way too nice. She talks really loud. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, so basically what he's saying is he loves you, Mama VP.
And if you didn't do those things with her, she missed you, I'm sure.
Oh my goodness. I think Paul is not the sentimental type, as you guys can see.
Well, I think that Paul hit something very nice on the head, even though he was just like, it's another day. But the point is he says he goes out with his mom with lunch and does stuff with his mom all the time. So he doesn't treat it like it's a holiday, because he does those things year round. And that's what's really special. Yeah, I got it, Paul. I heard you, Paul. I heard you in there. I heard you.
Do it, would she recognize it or know it? Yeah, because you do it all the time.
Because you do it all the time. That's right. That's awesome. Awesome.
I'm still here for all of this Mother's Day love. So again, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there listening right now. That's your day. But to my VP's point, every day is your day. I call my Snook Booker every day. I honor thy mother and father just like I should. And you heathen should too. And so next up, you know, we like to show love. We just showed some love to the moms, and now we're about to show some more love on Remote Roses. Okay, listen. Jasmine Baker is going to be joining us for Remote Roses. And look, we show a lot of love, and we have so much love for people that show women's sports love, the WNBA love. Jasmine Baker does that and then some, because I'm telling you right now, I bought me some. She's designing shorts. She's bringing culture to the WNBA. You already know I support the cause. Jasmine, talk about it. You've been a lifelong sports fan. What made you be all in? Because you're one of those people that I see tweeting all the time about it, always locked in. When did you start your journey with sports, and why?
I started early, like so many of us. I used to hoop. And so for me, it was 5 years old. My dad had me out there shooting buckets at the local Y. And, you know, 4 years later, my little brother came along. And so now I had somebody to body up against, you know, so it was a lot of fun growing up in our household. And, you know, I did basketball, track, golf, javelin. I did, I felt like I did everything. And then eventually I finally was like, okay, forget all that. I just want to be a basketball manager. And that really helped me, honestly. I would say that probably saved my life. So
you're one of the people that you cultivate culture. Can you just talk about when you were creating the vintage throwback style shorts? How did that come about?
You know, it's so funny. People ask me this question a lot. It started off with, I just didn't see anything out there that I wanted, that I personally think fans wanted as well. And it was really the brainchild between myself and Kevin Gray, who is the New Jersey Sets owner. I brought the idea to him as a custom idea just for myself. And he was like, hey, do you have any more ideas? I was like, well, yeah. And he was like, you know what, let's do a collaboration and like give this to the people. And it turned into one thing after next. Then next week, y'all will be able to see. No. So what are we gonna
be seeing next week? Wait a minute.
Drop it. Let's go.
We got some more drops coming. What should we give me a little teaser? I know you don't want to release. You got a release date that you have set. So tease what you're going to release so we can get excited for what's happening.
Okay, so this is going to be one of those projects that was brought to us. And so we're actually working with a WNBA team for a release.
Oh,
yes.
Nice.
Yes. So
well,
I cannot say
wait a minute, and it ain't me clearly. So it's not the Atlanta Dream, as you guys can assume. What you doing, girl? I think I know who it is, but I'm not gonna speculate. But that's lit though for you.
Yes,
so you're gonna be collabing with the WNBA team for. Is it a specific team release? Is it for the people as well? But it's team. Like what, I'm trying to get something out of you right now, Jasmine.
I love it. No, by the way, no, like we're more than happy to talk with Atlanta, believe that. Hey! But no, but this is one of those things that unfortunately, it will not be available to everyone. So that's the downside to it. But the upside is we're not done yet. We're not done yet. And this probably will not be the last WNBA team we work with. So there is hope that we'll get to
Okay. This will not be the last one. This is the first, but hopefully not the last. Shouts to my VP. Okay. I love to hear it. Call up mine. I connected to my people so we can see about what kind of collabs we can do down here in the A, because I like culture. Like, well, first of all, Atlanta is culture. I know you know that, Jasmine. So hello, somebody. But I love what I see happening now. I've seen knockoff WNBA gear. I think that's lit. I'm just going to throw it. I think that's lit. I saw people talking about bootleg the preseason game so everybody can view it. I love that the demand is there, you know, like, so for me, I don't care. Like, I like just seeing all these different projects. You're doing stuff. Other people are doing stuff. That's building the brand. The brand is growing. So I'm here for all of that. What you're doing, Jasmine, we will obviously support. You already know I bought me a couple pair of shorts right when I saw the joint. So you already know we support you here, me and my two lit crew. Now, whoever, oh my goodness, the baby done erase the scores. I know you lying, but I remember them.
I had 5.
7.
I had 5.
Nope. We're not doing that. No,
I had 5.
I got I think the correct score, we got tape that we can go back and check. I think the correct score is I have 6. VP's tied with Snook. What y'all got? You know.
No, I have 7.
Snook, what?
I got 4, I think, or 5.
VP has 4. Snook has 4. Cole definitely has 1.
I have 5 now. I have 5.
I think Mom did have 5.
Well, we don't know because it's the boy who cried wolf. Snook done told me 6 different numbers. I don't know what to believe at this point.
We were tied.
Don't worry, I'm gonna recount them, anyways, eventually.
Okay, so the tentative score. Oh, don't take it all.
They cheat me.
Yeah, they are.
Yes, they are.
Okay, so listen, the unofficial score is I have 6, Snook has 5, VP has 4, Cole has 1. Jasmine, Cole needs you in the worst way, okay? In the worst way.
Good luck.
All right, so Jasmine, this is what we do. Just so everybody knows, we show love by giving out hints. We make it a game. The hints we call it roses because as they give these hints, it's just a flex for whoever we're trying to guess. So Jasmine is going to be the person that she's going to spotlight someone by giving us hints. Jasmine, what's your first rose? I'm ready. Y'all got y'all's pads ready? Y'all ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's get it.
All right. The first one is, this is a woman and she is a historic and world-renowned DJ.
Oh, we're going a different route. I like it already. Let me see. Who do I know?
This is perfect. We were talking about music stuff before too.
I know. Nice. We're very competitive if you can't tell, Jasmine. So
oh, yeah.
There's that.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Hit number 2. What you got for us?
She's an amazing mother.
I see. We're going basic. Okay, you going with the broad strokes. Oh,
I don't know any women DJs. I don't think.
Wait, the first one was, I don't know if you
She's
said
a DJ. She's a female DJ.
Oh, yes. She's not a mom. Dang it.
No,
she's probably a firm mom.
I said she's a mom.
Oh no.
No, but my guess isn't a mom. I just know Liz Cambage DJs, but she's not a mom. So let's go with rose number 3.
She made the Forbes 30 under 30 list.
2020? 2020?
No,
that is.
I don't think it was 2020. Was 2020 the last? Yeah, no, she didn't make 2020.
Oh, I'm very intrigued about this lit DJ. That's a mom on Mother's Day. Shouts to the moms. This is Mother's Day a couple days ago. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Hit number. Let me get rose number 4. I don't see nobody writing yet.
All right. Rose number 4. This is a long one. So she's the official sports sound strategist for Basketball Africa League. And she was just dubbed the special advisor to Kenya's national teams.
Ooh, wait, she lit. Wait a minute. Who is this? I can't believe VP doesn't know this once you start doing national teams and all these. Okay, so she's Kenya's national team go-to lady. I'm trying to think. Does that mean she's Kenyan? I don't.
DJ.
Yes, she would have. Yes, yeah, she is Kenyan.
DJ. Oh my gosh.
DJ.
No one's getting a point this week.
Wait, what say?
Just guessed one of the
D'Amelio.
Who?
D'Amelio?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
I like that you're so respectful, Jasmine. Thank you very much for that. Nope, that's not correct. Do you got any more hints in the tank? Can I get a rose number 5? Can you give us another nugget?
I can. She is a former Mavs basketball girl.
Mavs?
Yes, Snook.
There's no way.
I hope she gets it, VP. You don't tell my Snooker Booker there's no way.
There's no way.
Okay, so I'm gonna be mad if this is
again.
Final guesses right now because that was the last one.
Okay.
We got to put up.
Do I know her?
I think you probably have met her and I don't even realize it.
The scoreboard on the scoreboard. You got to put guest as
DJ Money. DJ Money.
No, ma'am.
DJ. Okay, so let me guess. I gotta get a guess. I'm not going out without a guess. So DJ.
That's why I had to do one. Let me just do one. DJ Mo. I think it's DJ Mo.
And you mean to tell me I'd have met her, this lit individual?
Yeah, because she's got a spread on her, boy. That's a spread.
Yeah, so
she's well accomplished.
On the scoreboard, put guests, and then I think
DJ Madge.
Okay, I'm just going. Who is that? Is it DJ Madge?
I don't even know who that is.
made it up. Look, this is my guess. This is my guess, and she's not Kenyan, but shouts to K-Bear, my teammate in college. We called her DJ K Jizzle. K-Bear, Kalena Green is a DJ. I don't have a guess, so I'm just shouting out a DJ I know. Shouts to K-Bear, baby. I don't have a guess.
Oh, do you have a guess?
Nah.
No,
Okay, so all right, so tell us who stumped us, and that means that you got a rose. You beat us this one.
Yes.
Well, quick shout out to former Dallas Wings DJ and current Dallas Mavericks DJ, Poison Ivy.
Oh, that girl is poison. Poison. Hey, poison. Dang. Tell DJ Poison Ivy we need her on the show, man. She's lit. I love that you showed. That was, wow. You don't even know this, Jasmine, but we did a little something different this episode. We had music. We talked about DJ Khaled. We talked about Ed Sheeran. And now you came through on the roses with DJ Poison Ivy. Hold on.
Goodness.
Let me give some roses to Jasmine Baker for cultivating culture on Twitter, for bringing new styles, for bringing conversations. I remember when the jerseys dropped, you were doing Instagram lives. All those things matter when you're doing rollouts for a business.
Thank you,
I'm
sis.
gonna check it out because I didn't know about her, so I've learned something. So I'll be checking it out and doing some research so I can see who she.
And yes,
ma'am.
Snookabuka, shouts to Poison Ivy. 34, 30 under 30. I'm talking about a woman in the NBA holding down that space of DJ. I see you. Then, she wasn't finished yet. She wasn't done yet. With Kenya, she wanted to come over there and provide her services to the national team. Girl, you better. And then last but not least, shouts to all the moms out there. A couple of days ago was Mother's Day, and we couldn't do it without the moms. So shouts to the lit moms out there. All of them, WNBA moms, all the moms. We love to see it, baby. Oh, I like that one. I like that.
Nice. Yes.
So the official score is still
person to stump us.
Yeah.
Only the second to do it. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
I see you, Jasmine. And okay, so one question I got to ask you, since we also did some WNBA, the season opener is coming. I wanted to get your pick. Who do you have in the WNBA finals this year?
I'm going with my two favorite teams, the Aces in Chicago. They're going to be in there, and I'm really hoping Candace either gets one. Well, she hadn't talked about leaving the league, but we know it's towards the end of her career. So I'm hoping she can get one more for the home team. They've always been, we've been seeing them build for so long in Chicago now. And I think everybody really, really, really obviously wants one for Asia in particular. But I know with Liz Cambage, one thing that we don't talk about enough is her struggle to get a title. So in this league. So she's a great player, great ambassador for the league. I would love to see them get a title as well, because Vegas has done it very different, and it's been fun to watch.
That's interesting, because we had a guest earlier, Cheryl Coward, and she had the exact same pick for the finals. Who's your sleeper pick this year? Like, who do you think is going to do better than people expect?
I think I'm going to have to go with Minnesota, and maybe a lot of people are picking them. I don't know. I know who a lot of the favorites are, but I really think Minnesota has, even though the squad's young, they still have a vet, obviously, in Sylvia Fowles. I'm looking forward to seeing what the past two Rookie of the Years can do going into this season. But I don't know. Something about Minnesota, man. I'm looking forward to watching them.
Okay, so last but not least, what you think about my squad? Okay, the Atlanta Dream. We're gonna be all right this year. I know that a lot of people don't see us in that finals top two. Sure. Of course, me as an owner, I do. But I know that people know that we're decent, right? Like, what are your thoughts about the Atlanta Dream?
Ma'am, the Atlanta Dream can do no wrong at this point. Like, I mean, nobody wants to mess with y'all on or off the court at this point. Real talk. They don't want the smoke. But no, congratulations again, Renee. You were just inspiring, sis. Like, I'm literally here late at work because I'm like, I want to be like Renee Montgomery when I go. Period.
Awesome.
I like those.
I love it here.
One of the last games I've ever gone to that was out of state was the Atlanta Dream game. So me and my mother, that was the first game I've been to as an adult with my mother. And she actually helped me do interviews. It was the cutest, terriblest thing I've ever seen.
I gotta see that. You got the clips? You still got the clips?
I need to see
you gotta run us the clips, man. Run us them clips. We gotta show a little something of young Jasmine out there getting her journalism on. Come on now.
Girl, she was out there trying to get, so Caleb from Stranger Things showed up at the game. And so I recognized him as we were both going into the elevator. And so I spoke to him and my mom was like, so which player's little brother is that? I was like, Mom. No, ma'am. You're just here to record. Don't be asking no more questions. I love my mom. She's one of the reasons that I do what I do today. I love my mom. Happy Mother's Day to my mom.
There you go.
Happy Mother's Day to Jasmine. Well,
thank you.
What's your mom's name, Jasmine?
My mother's name is Evelyn Baker.
Happy Mother's Day, Miss Evelyn Baker. Yes.
Thank y'all.
So Jasmine, listen, this was great. We don't usually get stumped because we got a lot of minds here, but you did that. Okay. Thank you for joining us here on Remotely Renee. And we love to see it. Everything you're doing, we love to see it.
Thank you, sis. And I thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good one. Happy Mother's Day.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very welcome.
Love it. All right. You ain't got to go home, Jasmine, but
I appreciate you, girl. Thank you for having me on. Yeah. I appreciate that. I was like, I don't know what y'all do.
You ain't got to go home, but you got to get out of here. We got to finish the show. Jasmine, hello.
Bye. Thank you, girl.
Thank you.
Love it. I love our WNBA community, y'all. This is what I'm saying. I want to tell y'all something because I bet y'all would think that I knew Jasmine, that we've met before. That was my first time talking to Jasmine, just so y'all know. But I feel like, and this is how I feel about a lot of my Twitter family, I feel like we know each other. We had never actually spoke, but we tweet each other so much. We talk so much daily that I feel like they my crew. That's my dog. So shouts to Jasmine. I felt like I could play with her because of that. And you guys, that's the beauty of connecting while being remote. It's the premise of this whole show. So join us next where we're going to do exactly that with other people. We're going to connect while being remote.